So good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another video of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we're continuing the top 20 of the year, now going number 15 to 11. So without wasting any more time, let's go into number 15. So this is a band that has not released an album in 12 years, and you couldn't escape this band in the beginning of the 2000s. They had hits like It's Been a While, which was massive. So I'm talking about Stain. And, they haven't released an album in a long time because their lead singer, Aaron Lewis, has been more focused on doing country music. And sometimes he's controversial, but I'm not here to view his politics. I'm here to talk about Stain's album. And Confessions of the Fallen for me was one of my surprises of the year. Why was it a surprise for me? Because I didn't think that it was going to be as good as it was. But when I heard the first single, Lowest in Me, I was like, wow, this is really catchy, but also it can be like more aggressive at times, but keeping that commercial appeal. And then you have, they had songs like Here and Now, which is the ballad, Cycle of Hurting, which sounded like classic Stain to me, and other tracks on this album. And you really have a great album, like other contemporaries from their time, like Puddle of Mud. Stain are doing like this type of music well, and I think this is a great addition to them. And if you like Stain back then, I think you will like it now. So yeah, that is my number 15. So coming up number 14, I'm talking about the band Periphery, and the new album is called The Gent Is Not a Genre. And I always like that Periphery, for some reason, like to put like these strange album titles on their albums. It's like they're kind of funny, but they're not like a hilarious band. They're a band that really take themselves seriously, but when it comes to album titles, you never know what you're gonna get with them. And I think this is Periphery experimenting again, and they have some longer songs here. And I know that they also like to work themselves on the music, and it shows. Misha is always hands-on experience with them. And on this album, I think they have some great tracks. Wildfire, which starts the album, is just an amazing tracks. Then you have tracks like Wax Wings, that is one of the most like harder on the track. And yeah, I guess the Gent is a genre, but other tracks like Dracul Grass and Thanks Nobu that end the record are really great. I don't have it as high on this list as other albums because I still think that Periphery have more in them. This was a very good album, but not the best of like this type of music that I've heard. Actually, the album that I have, number 13, I think it's a little bit better, and I have it physically. And I'm talking about Haken with Fauna. And just look at this album cover. This is a great album cover. I really love it. I think it has everything that you want from a progressive album cover. And yeah, if you take a look in the inside, how beautiful is this? And the back. I bought this on vinyl because I think this is one of my favorite progressive records of the year. And I know some people talk about it, but I don't think enough people gave it as much praise that it has. Haken have a way of like doing like some prog, but also giving it that 80s flair. And I really think their vocalist is really great at this. Taurus, which starts the album, is a more harder track, and the bass is really prevalent on this. But I think Elephants Never Forget is the highlight of the record for me. But then you have songs like Love Bite, which really has that 80s feel to it. So it's really a great album. And that's why it's at my number 13. So at number 12, this is a band that I discovered a few years ago. And their singer actually has a YouTube channel. And they're called Spirit Adrift. And something that I really like about this record is, first of all, guitar, guitar, guitar. Some great guitar like licks on this and solos for days. And I think this is a very talented band that they can play thrash metal, death metal, progressive, and also like some like a bluesy type of sound as well on some of the tracks. I think this is a album that really flows well from beginning to end, and I was really uh, blown away by the production of the record. Everything sounds crisp, everything sounds so well, and uh, I like songs like Barn Burner. It's just a great track that when you listen to it, it has, those choruses in thrash metal that sometimes are lost. But the album starts so great with Give Her to the River. But you have like more softer songs like These Two Hands. But my highlight would be I Shall Return and Death Won't Stop Me. The choruses on this record are just very earwormy, and I think that that makes the record sound good and not sound cheesy, because there's some bands that do this style and they can sound cheesy at times but not Spirit Adrift. So I know a lot of people didn't talk about this record, and I did a review and not many people saw it, and shame on you people. Spirit Adrift has a great album, and that's why I have it so high on my list at number 12. So coming up at number 11, this is a band that if you were alive in the 80s, you probably heard of them. It's been covered by so many bands, and a song appeared this year on The Last of Us. I'm talking about PES Mode, and the album is called Memento Mori. And what can I say about PES Mode, Memento Mori? First of all, this is a very important record for the band because they lost a band member. So they're like paying homage to that band member that died. And it's a really emotional record about your own mortality. And the way that Depeche Mode does it, they do it in a way that also is very reminiscent to their 80s sound. You know, they're a band that makes a lot of like alternative with dance music. And I think this is why Memento Mori is so great. Also, the vocals, I can't state them enough. They're great. The lead single, Ghost Again, is one of my favorite tracks of the year because, you know, it's like so emotional when he is like, heaven fleeting, that us lost, my friend, will be ghost again. I'm like, that line, wow, so great. He sounds as amazing as he did when he sang in the 80s. And then there's some other tracks that I really thought were great, like My Cosmos Is Mine. That's more of a like a Nine Inch Nails vibes to it. And you have songs like People Are Good, which is really great as well. Speak to Me, Never Let Me Go. It's just a great emotional record that I think is their best album in years. And that's why I have it at number 11. So there you have my newest 5 picks for this week. So next week, we're doing number 10 to 6. So I'll see you next week. And hey, if you want some merch, I have my shirt, the Shield Dude on a Couch shirt. You can get them at fretless.com. I know I got mine. So again, people, I'll see you next week. And if you like the videos that I'm putting out, do not forget to subscribe. And do not forget to give me a like. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm to get to more people like yourself. So until next time, people, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a Couch, and I'll see you right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.